Hi guys, Dave here with you. Thanks for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. We're going to make a Mediterranean inspired creamy pasta chicken dish. It's going to be easy, fun, and delicious. Let's get cooking. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Give us a like, a share, a comment. All those things really help us out a lot. One thing I've found with this Explorer and these 2-burner stoves like this is that sometimes low is still too hot, and it's kind of hard to simmer things on these 2-burner stoves. How can we get the pan above the flame to where we can reduce that level of heat and get some more control? Because as you can see with this Dutch oven, I've got these 3 legs and they'll just fall right through, and now it's sitting on the frame of the burner. That's okay, I guess, but it can't really be as control of what the low is. I went down to Home Depot and I got a piece of this expanded steel. Now this was 12 inches wide by 24 inches long when I got it, and I just took a pair of tin snips and I cut it in half, so I got 2 12 by 12 pieces. Now what I can do is I can place that right down on top of the burner assembly, and look, now I've got this much extra space and I get the bottom of the pan up above the burner assembly. The other thing I can do is, if I'm just using a skillet and I want to get that up, if I use one of these lodged trivets, it goes right through. It's not gonna, it falls, either doesn't do anything or it falls right through. But if I put my expanded steel on there, now I can put that on there, that holds that up, I can put the pan on there, and again, I've increased the distance from the bottom of my pan to the top of the burner, giving me more control of my temperatures. So it's a pretty easy thing to do. If it's something you want to do, I really recommend you try it. Another thing I found out about, well, look right here, we got a big old open gap, and I guess that's okay, but so I said, well, how can I use that space? I went again down, this time down to Lowe's, and I got a piece of plate steel, I think it's 20 gauge, and I cut it to where it just fits 14 inches from here to here. And now I can move around, I can move it over, use it as a hot plate, I can put it in the middle. If I want to rest utensils on it, I can. It's going to get warm, but it's a good place to put utensils while you're working. Or if you just want to put a little pan right here just to pour something in and maybe warm something up, you can slide it over. So another little hack of something you can make to improve the process of your 2-burner stove. Let's make a sauce. We're going to use chicken bouillon in water. I'm just going to pour some water in the bottom. I'm going to adjust the amount of water I use in this as the cook goes on. And I really like this better than bouillon. This is the roasted chicken variety, and it's delicious. You can use chicken stock in a container if you want. It's the same thing, but I thought this might be a little easier to use if I was camping or in an RV or something, to where I didn't have to store a half-used container of chicken stock in the refrigerator. So we're going to take 1 big teaspoon of the bouillon and put it in there to start dissolving. Now we've got that on a light boil, let's add our pasta. And today we're using this small little pieces of pasta. You can use anything you want. I don't know if I'd use spaghetti or lasagna noodles, but yeah, any kind of small pasta will work. So we'll just add that in there, stir that around, and let that cook. Let it come back up to a low boil. Now I'm going to turn this down to about low, put the lid on it, and let that simmer for a few minutes while we start working on our other ingredients. So let's get this burner lit. Slide this skillet over on it, put a little oil in the bottom. Now I'm using avocado oil today because I like it, because it gets a little hotter without smoking, even more so than olive oil does. Let's check on our pasta. I think I could turn that up a little. What do you think? Yeah, let's let that boil for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and add that other expanded steel piece to this so that I can gain a little more control over that. So I'm going to set this off to the side, get my other expanded steel piece, and it doesn't matter if it's bent not exactly flat. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to take one of these Lodge. And these things are really cool because they also work as a lid lifter. Look at that. That's cool. So you can use them either way. So let's put that on there. And now let's put our cast iron skillet back on top. Let's see how our pasta's doing. Soaking up all those good flavors from that bouillon. All right, I think that's hot enough to add our chicken. And I'm just gonna put a little pepper on it. Did I say a little pepper? I think we can stir our chicken now. Yeah, it's releasing good. Good deal. All right, now while that's cooking, let's look at our pasta, and it's coming along very nicely. So we're gonna put this lid on this to let that cook. And while that's doing, we're going to start adding some spices and a couple of special ingredients into our pasta. The first thing we're gonna add is some garlic. So we're gonna add about that much garlic. Some general Italian seasoning herb mix. So I can always add more later, right? And then we'll give that a stir to mix those around and let those noodles start absorbing those spices up. You know, when you add garlic, the smells go up and the flavor goes up and everything just gets better with garlic. We'll check in on our chicken here. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna move those around to the edge of the pan, and I'm gonna add in onions, green peppers, and red peppers, right like that. And we'll put the lid on that and let that simmer for a moment. Meanwhile, let's keep working on our noodles over here. We are going to fold in some cream cheese into this sauce to give it a real nice creamy texture. So we'll let that melt in while we go back and check on our stuff over here. And we can just start mixing all this together to get everything softened up and cooked. So we'll put this lid back on this one and keep working on our, see how that softened up that cream cheese? Now with the cream cheese in there, I want to make sure I don't overheat this. So I'm gonna put this down on low because I just want it to stay warm. The pasta's cooked, the cream cheese is melting, and we'll go back to our skillet and see what's cooking. Oh yeah, everything's getting softened up. Let's give our noodles a taste to see if they need anything else. That's already delicious. I'm gonna add some more Italian seasoning though, because that's the way I like it. So let's add some more. Said some, I guess that's maybe a lot, but it'll be real good. So this is done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off because we're gonna add all of that to all of that. All right, like so. Great. And now we'll mix it up. And I gained the juices that were in that pan, went in with this, and I gained all that goodness into this dish. And does that look delicious? Holy cow. One last ingredient in this to really give it something special and a little more of that Mediterranean flair that we had talked about is I'm going to add a little bit of spinach to it. So we've got some baby green spinach, and we're going to stir in just enough to give it some flavor. Add just a little bit of water with it. Look how this is coming together. Oh yeah. You want it creamy. We're gonna eat this with a spoon. Okay, we're gonna let that simmer for a couple of minutes. It's on medium, which is fine. Time to plate it up and eat it. Doesn't that look like a pot of creamy goodness? Let's get some going. Get some chicken. we're going to add some feta to the top of it and a little more black pepper like that. And that is a bowl of creamy goodness. Let's try it out. It's really good. The pasta's done just right. It's a simple, easy recipe to make. Cooking outside on cast iron is a lot of fun. I hope you'll try it. Stick around. Let's just see what's next with Dave. Thanks.